Hi everyone, my name is Artis Kadu. I'm the founder and CEO of Element 451. Element 451 is a marketing automation and CRM specifically built for higher education that focuses on personalization and automation. Today, we'll be talking about automating and scaling personalized enrollment marketing. We all know what marketing automation is, and we also know what personalization is. Well, today we'll explore how we should be thinking about marrying these two together in the most cost-effective and efficient way in order to deliver a great experience to our prospective students. For Gen Z, brand experiences are very, very personal, and interactions with college and universities should also be personal. You open Spotify and you have a personalized playlist for the time of day it is or what mood you're in. You go to Amazon and you get personalization on your books. You get personalization on groceries. Amazon knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how to deliver it to you. Netflix. You get on Netflix. It knows exactly what you like. It makes recommendations. For teens whose whole lives have been digital, there's nothing amazing about this. They expect it. Why should interactions with colleges and universities be any different? Nearly every piece of enrollment marketing mix, from brochures to open houses to landing pages, has the potential to be personalized. Let's go a little bit deeper into an example from Netflix on how they are able to personalize the images that they show us for a show. Here you have different versions of the same show, however, they're presented to different audiences and to different personas. The way that they do that is they focus on your prior history, they focus on your cadence of how often do you watch, and so on and so forth. Here's an example for Good Will Hunting. We have the top image where it's a more romantic image, and that's based on your prior history of watching romantic movies. Whereas the second one with Robin Williams, it's because you have watched perhaps a lot of prior comedies as well. Now, when we think about personalization with our students and our prospective students, in order to get true personalization, you need to know first not only who they are, like what demographics and a lot of data points about that student. However, you need to know a lot more about them based on behavioral data and analytics as well. So if we take a student like this, we think about it, their status as a prospect, their location, they're perhaps, certain distance from campus, they're local or they're within state or they're out of state. You can have different categories, their program of interest, but then think about the behavior of that student as well. Have they interacted with you lately? Have they opened any emails? Have they visited a website? What web pages have they visited within that website? Now, if you don't have the right systems, it can be very overwhelming to think about this and to have these types of personas. However, with the right system, you can get there. And present it as a grid. You have audiences on the left and you have topics on the right. Now you have to mix and match. Perhaps you have multiple events, different academic programs, different careers that you want to personalize for. The combination of all of these, we can get up to about 482 emails, which can be quite a bit of emails. That's not manageable. What if I were to tell you that we can do it in 42 emails, and each one of those emails can be personalized, and each one of those the content within those emails can be actually personalized at the block level rather than at the top level? Well, currently, that's the status quo of most email delivery, and most email personalization is very, very simple. It requires some more advanced personalization, requires programming skills in order to get deep into the personalization engine of perhaps any of the current systems. Well, with Element 451, we have built that right in the core of the product, and we really excited about some of the new innovations that we are launching with Element. Element 451 is a marketing automation and CRM platform, and it really helps schools find and enroll more students. It has marketing automation built in, so anything from landing pages to dynamic workflows or dynamic messages, dynamic content in your emails based on all those personalizations, application evaluations, AI and advanced analytics, so we know a lot more about that student. So we're capturing behavioral data and also data around the student's profile and how they're doing. And we can also do predictive modeling on that behavioral data as well. And last but not least, with any CRM, you get a blank slate when you open it up. However, what we've done in Element is that we have packs, which are installable campaigns. Essentially, it takes 2 minutes in order to set up and launch a campaign from the ground up, from zero to hero. Okay, let's take a look at how Element handles the personalization and automation. Here we have a typical campaign. It is a graduate search campaign. And what you're seeing here is that Element has the ability to have very easily configure different cadences for those different communications. You can see that each of these actions and this of these communications is a specific topic, and within those topics, when we send a communication, we know who that student is and we personalize that message at that specific time, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. So this gives you the ability to orchestrate your timing based on a cadence that is specific to that student and when they enter the workflow based on delays. And then as we look at specific messages, here is a message, and this one is a program specific one. We can take a look and edit that. As we take a look at the email editor in here, we're noticing that there's a personalization section. And here's where we define the different versions on how we want to change that version. This is what triggers the changes on the audiences of that version. In here, we have started application, applied, and then we have program-specific communications here as well based on our segmentation. Now, you can see over here intended major or application major. We can create any number of segments in here that we like. We don't have to be specific, just on the program, but we can add things like activity information as well. Things like have they logged in within the last, or have they opened an email within the last, at least one time within the last 30 days. So we can do those kinds of filtering in here as well, and we can specify those audiences. Now, when we take a look at the content side, we can see that each one of the pieces of content, including subject lines. Now we have different subject lines depending on what audience that student fits. Where this becomes even more interesting is in our editor. So Element has the ability to have different versions for each block. So here on the header, we have everything based on the program. So we can switch between different programs, and we have appealing images for each program. Now, when it comes to the funnel, perhaps what the audience is, we want to drive them to different places depending on what stage they're in. If they've started an application, we want to drive them to complete it. If they have already completed it, we want to drive them to a virtual open house. So now it becomes really, really easy to build one email with all of these different permutations of content in here. And then as we preview it, let's go ahead and preview it. We can see, let's say we have, we can pull up a student in here, and we can then, so let's see if we pull in a student. This student now is a health tech major, and the email has been personalized, and we can see exactly what we're going to send to that particular student as it stands right now. They can change their major, or they can change any of their data in here, and they can be completely different at the time that it goes out for another student. So with this in mind, now you have the ability to see how you can focus on topics, and you can personalize it at the audience level rather than having multiple flows of communication. And this makes it so much easier. You essentially set it and forget it. You set the campaign and then you forget it. And now all you have to do is manage your data rather than managing your content and kind of orchestrating when you're sending messages out and how to personalize it. One of the latest innovations we've launched and are really excited at Element 451 is Packs. We believe it's a transformational technology for delivering installable campaigns. PAX marries content, design, and automations, and it solves one of the biggest problems of the blank slate. Everybody is familiar when we get a new CRM, you have to load all the content in, and that is very time consuming. PAX lets you do it in minutes what normally takes weeks. You need a prospect generation campaign, you can just install one, and in a matter of minutes, you have a full landing page, inquiry form, thank you email, and workflow. What you see here, this is PAX. We have about 15 or so PAX, anything from transfer search campaign to parent campaigns to graduate nurture campaigns, and all of these are installable in just a minute. So let's take a senior search campaign where you're pushing high school students to apply. We take a look at the campaign. You can see some of the different resources in here that are included. And we can also take a look at the call to action of that campaign and the resources that will be created. So let's go ahead and install it. Just one click. We want to include a COVID communication in here as part of that campaign. We picked what application we want to drive people to. We pick a term. We load in a segment or an audience. And in this case, I will load in one of the prior ones. I can pick a sending name. I want to see if I want to enroll myself or if I want to enroll those students when they have started applying to perhaps an application finish workflow, and these work really nicely together. I want to specify the cadence and also some contact info. So now once I hit install, all of those resources will be installed for me, and I will have half a dozen emails plus the workflow orchestration plus graphics plus content all together in a matter of seconds. So here we go. It installed all of these communications. Now I can go ahead and take a look at the different communications in here. I can go and take a look at a campus city live email, and here we go. You can see that it just installed it right now. I can edit that message, and again in here we have two personalizations, seniors within 100 miles and seniors beyond 100 miles. However, you can see that there can be additional personalizations that you can specify in here. As we take a look at this, we have different versions of that particular message. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope I piqued your interest a little bit around PAX, personalization and automation. And if you want to know more, please visit pax.element451.com or just element451.com. I'll be around for Q&A after. Thank you.